Do you feel like you've kind of checked all the boxes of everything you want to accomplish? You still feel unhappy, but at the same time, you're like, what else is there? What else can I add that's going to solve for this problem? Hi, I'm Deibert. I'm a performance coach for enterprise and strategic sellers. I help with mindset and productivity. And this, I recognize, is a very first world problem. But finding meaning in your life when you've kind of already checked the boxes, I think is really important. And yes, there are bigger problems to be solved, but if this is your problem, it might be the biggest problem that you have. It might not be the biggest problem in the world, but it might be your biggest problem. So let's address it. Lately, I've been reading this book, and it has helped me create so much more meaning in my life and so much more understanding of what am I going after? What am I doing this for? What's the point? Why are we trying to do this? It's also created so much more satisfaction and happiness in my life. And it all comes from one simple mindset shift. So I wanted to make sure that I share this with you because I think this is going to be really helpful for a lot of sellers out there. So I talk with enterprise and strategic sellers all the time who are like, hey, I know this is a really ridiculous problem to have, but I have the house, I have the car, I have the family, I have the promotion. I'm hitting quota. Like things are pretty good. And yet I'm still not satisfied. I still don't feel that life happiness, that satisfaction every day, that enjoyment, that bliss that I thought I would feel at this point. Does this resonate with you? So many of us are like, man, I remember when I was in college, I was like, if I ever made 6 figures, like to me, that felt like being a billionaire. Like you could never be unhappy again if you were making 6 figures. And then I remember when I hit 6 figures and it was the greatest thing and I was so happy, it was so amazing. And then pretty soon it was like, well, now I need multiple 6 figures. That didn't solve the problem. Obviously, there's something else. Does this resonate with you? We kind of just move the mile markers for ourselves and we think that these outside things are going to bring us that happiness and satisfaction that we're looking for, when in reality, they don't. And it's very disappointing. How come when I get the nice car, I'm still feeling unsatisfied? How come when I get the nice house, I'm still unsatisfied? Like, what else is there? What else could I add? And I can tell you right now, I've worked with clients who've hit 7-figure years, who've closed the mega deals. They still aren't happy. You're happy for a short period of time, yes, but it's not the thing that creates lasting satisfaction for you. So what are you supposed to do? Like, what do we go for? I don't want to just be unhappy my whole life. So this is where this idea comes in. The book is called Hero on a Mission, and it's written by Donald Miller. Donald Miller is very popular and famous for his story brand work that he's done. You've probably heard of that. This is a separate book. So Donald Miller, I didn't realize, was actually a memoirist for a long time. And then he went into marketing and helped companies start creating their brand story in a story format. And in this book, Hero on a Mission, he talks about how to create more meaning in your life by thinking about your life like a storyline. Thinking of yourself as the main character of your story. Are you right now the victim of your story? Are you the hero of your story? Are you the villain in your story? Or maybe you're a guide in your story. He talks about how we all oscillate between these different modes: victim, villain, hero. And then once the hero kind of accomplishes things, the hero usually becomes a guide for other heroes. But it's really helpful to recognize that you are living a story. And actually, your story is not really up to fate. Your story is wildly dictated by what you do and what you choose and what you want. Once you take control over your story and realize that so much of it is in your control, it helps create more meaning. It's really interesting to think about your whole life as a plot, and you are the main character. I love the idea of not asking yourself, what should I do next? And instead asking yourself, what kind of story do I want to live? So let's break this down a little bit further. It's really helpful, as Donald Miller talks about in the book, to give the hero a narrative question. This is starting out the question with, will the hero ... What is the question? Think of all the movies that you've watched, all the novels that you've read. There's always a question. Will the hero be able to run the marathon? Will the hero be able to close the mega deal? Will the hero be able to spend more time with their kids? Will the hero be able to lose the weight? Will the hero be able to repair their relationship? Will the hero be able to heal themselves? Will the hero be able to operate at maximum productivity and have more time back in their day? Yes, they will, as soon as they hire Amber. It's really fun to think about what is the question that you want the audience to ask as they're looking at this plot line of your story. And we don't need other people watching our story, but we're asking ourselves that. Will the hero be able to what? What's the next challenge that this hero is going to face in the story of your life? What feels meaningful to you? What feels fun to you? What feels interesting and something that you want to explore? I encourage you to think about this. Think about, what would you like to challenge yourself to do? What sounds fun? What sounds like it would add more meaning to your life? And as you're thinking about this, let me get to the next point, which will help you define that question. So Donald Miller has a step-by-step process to walk you through this entire thing. I'm not going to give you the whole thing, but I'll give you kind of the basics here. One step in the process is to write your eulogy. This is really fascinating and really interesting. When you start with the end in mind, as Dr. Covey would say, what is it that you want to be remembered for? What do you want people to say about you at the end? What do you want your eulogy to be? What do you want to have accomplished in your life? What feels really meaningful and really enjoyable for you to do? I did this exercise for myself, and it has completely changed the way I think about not only my day-to-day, but also my 5-year plans, my 10-year plans, my 1-year plan, and just the focus of why I'm doing what I'm doing. As I wrote my eulogy, I realized that a big piece of my story is breaking chains and breaking generational trauma cycles. I look at the generations before me and I can't figure out where the trauma started. It just continued through every single generation before me. And I want to be the one that breaks those chains. It was really interesting to me to realize while I was writing my eulogy that what I'm trying to accomplish is to be the one who changes it for future generations. I want to learn how to heal myself, and I want to teach everyone around me how to do the same. And so it's reorienting my perspective on, for a long time, I have been trying to prove myself. I came from poverty. I came from a lot of dysfunction. I have PTSD from childhood. It's a pretty big mess. And so what I learned in childhood was that my worth was dependent on what I was able to deliver to other people. My worth was based on my productivity. My worth was based on how much money I was making. My worth was based on how much I was sacrificing myself for other people. And so it's been really fascinating to write my eulogy as having healed my own stuff and helping other people heal their stuff. And in the process, learning that my worth and my value is not based on any of those outside things. My worth and value is inherent. And so it's really fascinating because in my day-to-day, I get hung up on what I should be doing, and I'm behind, and I should be fixing this and doing that. And like, I'm comparing myself to others, and who's ahead of me and who's behind me, and where do I fit in, and am I valuable? Am I worthwhile? And grounding myself in this eulogy really helps change that whole perspective. Like, the only goal is to break the cycles. The only goal is to heal yourself so that your kids and their kids and their kids don't have to do this work for themselves. And when I think about it in that regard, it removes all the comparison. It removes all of the scarcity. It removes all of the fear. It removes all of the pressure and stress. And my work becomes so much more fun. It becomes so much more interesting. I'm not pushing myself to burnout anymore because that's what the old model would say that you should do. That's not what the new model says. The new model says heal yourself. So sometimes I let myself rest because that's what I need. And it allows me to be a better performer when I am performing. Ultimately, I get better results, not because I'm pushing myself out of fear, but because I'm allowing myself rest and showing myself that I'm worthy of that. Okay, so this is a big, huge tangent. Hopefully it resonated with you. Send me a message on LinkedIn or feel free to comment and let me know if this resonates. But doing this exercise has made it so much more meaningful to sit down and do my work because now I have a why behind it. Now I understand how this fits into the whole picture. Now I understand that the number one goal is healing myself. And then the part that makes it fun is I get to share that healing with everyone around me. I get to help thousands of other people heal themselves as well because of the work I'm doing on myself. So think about this narrative question. What will the hero do? Will the hero be able to ... What is it that you want to accomplish? What sounds really fun? And using this exercise of writing out your eulogy can help you answer those questions. What do you want to be remembered for? What do you want to have done by the end of your life? What do you want to have accomplished and conquered by the end of your life? And that's going to help answer the questions of where do you go next and what are you going after? So then in that same vein, I want to remind you that a story would be so boring if the hero just got everything that they wanted and there were no challenges? Can you imagine watching a movie where they're like, okay, the hero wants the girl, the hero got the girl, the hero wants the car and the money, and the hero got the car and the money? Like, it'd be so boring if the hero had no challenges to overcome. So as challenges arise in your story, continue to think about yourself as the main character of the plot. It's okay that the challenges are there. The challenges are meant to be there. That's what makes it so interesting. But will the hero be able to continue on? Will the hero find a way to move past these challenges? Will the hero keep their focus and their determination to be able to make it through? You can change your mindset from, a lot of people come to me and they're kind of stuck in a hamster wheel. They're just busy all the time, but they don't know what the point is, or if they're getting anywhere, or if it's creating any kind of meaning, or if it's helping them move towards their goals. They're just trying to survive every single day. And when you change your mindset to thinking about yourself as the main character of the plot, then every day you can just think about adding something to the plot. Are you moving the story forward? Are you adding something to the plot? Is it getting better? Are you getting closer to your goal? I feel like I see it on social media all the time. The kids say, do it for the plot, which is kind of funny, but also pretty applicable. What is one small thing you can do today that's going to move the plot forward? What is something that a future version of you will be proud that you did? We're not talking heroic, amazing effort. We're talking about one small thing. How can you move the story forward? What would the future version of you, who's already accomplished what you want to accomplish, advise you to do today? Okay, so a quick recap. If you feel like you're lacking meaning in your life, you don't know what to go after, you don't know what's going to create happiness, you don't know what's going to create satisfaction, I highly encourage you to think about your life like a story. Think about it like a plot, and you are the main character of that story. What do you want the hero to go after next? Maybe the hero needs to shift from a victim mindset into a hero mindset. Maybe the hero wants to heal their relationship with themselves. Maybe the hero wants to have more time with their family. What is the hero going to go after? When you create this narrative question of will the hero blank, it helps to give you direction. And one way to help you answer that question is by thinking about the very end. What do you want to be remembered for? What's going to be in your eulogy? What will people say about you? And don't forget that the challenges are going to arise. That's what makes it interesting. That's what makes it exciting. Just because there's a challenge doesn't mean that you're not going to get towards your goal. The challenge is often something that's going to help you get towards your goal. It's going to help you build that resilience or that strength or that grit. That is exactly what you need to get to the goal that you have. So every single day, add something to the plot and challenge yourself. Do it for the plot. Okay, I hope this gave you a new way to think about your career and the direction and meaning in life. If you like this, be sure to like and subscribe. I would love to share more fantastic tips like this with you. And if you want to connect with me, come find me over on LinkedIn. Just search for Amber Deibert and you'll find my smiling face there. And thanks so much for tuning in. I'll see you next week.